What's up, everyone? Salutations. I've been asked in the past and recently um, on how to ship newts and salamanders. So, in this guide, I'll try my best to explain how to package and ship live newts and live salamanders and other live small pets. And as a disclaimer, I'm not a professional shipper. I've just done it many times with success. And sometimes, even if you do everything right, things still go wrong because you're relying like on a third party and anything can happen. So this guide will cover terrestrial salamanders like this fire salamander, marbled salamander, lungless salamanders, and semi-aquatic salamanders like the pseudo-triton, this red salamander, aquatic salamanders, there's a mud puppy and axolotl, and this can also be applied to dart frogs, tree frogs, Pac-Man frogs, bullfrogs, that's a pixie, and small lizards like this five-line skink. So first off, you'll need a strong box that's reinforced with styrofoam or a styrofoam box like one of these here. And this box basically will go inside this box. And as you can see, this box is damaged. All these boxes are damaged. I will say it's very likely that your box will be abused. It will receive damage. It will be tossed around. That's a fact. You can ask any shipper, any worker that handles packages. They will tell you it gets tossed around. If not manually by the hands of a handler, it will get tossed around by some sort of machine or a sorting machine, possibly. So keep that in mind. So for example, you're selling a newt and you need to ship a newt, let's say from Florida to Idaho. And this is what I would do. I would get a plastic container. Sometimes they can have holes on the side, sometimes not. It doesn't really matter if your lid has holes, breathable lid has holes. Get a spray bottle, spray it, hydrate it, but not too wet, just damp. You'll add other things later. So some materials I use to help keep the animal moist: sphagnum moss, dry leaves, or live sheet moss. And all these items help pocket moisture and keep moisture in the box or in the container to help hydrate your animal, your amphibian. So I'll continue by grabbing a newt, a fire belly newt, like so. He goes right in there like that. And at this point, I can either go with the live sheet moss, damp leaves, sprayed, and sphagnum. Either choice would work. If I was shipping 2 days, like priority shipping, I'd probably go with something like the sphagnum, because it will be in transition for 2 days, sometimes 3. The sphagnum would go perfect in there like that. Close the lid. Something like that. Or you can, if he's going overnight, I would put him in here with the leaves. And sometimes overnight shipping is actually, or express shipping is considered 1 or 2 days. And there won't be that much moisture in there like if I was using the sphagnum, but it probably wouldn't need it because its time in transition is less. But it would still sustain the newt if there was a delay. which is not okay, but you want to think about things like that. If there's a delay, he will survive. It will survive in here also if it's a delay, 3 or 4 days. You don't want that, but it does happen. It has happened to me. So at this point, let's just get them ready to get boxed up. Miranda, give me a box. An ice pack is almost essential every time. Let's just go with one. And then let's say he just doesn't want one newt. Let's say he wants a newt and a salamander. Like, let's go with this ambystoma. Let's go with this marbled salamander. Pretty. So we'll put them in this container. Again, a lid with holes, breathable. It will burrow. It will hide itself naturally. That's why they're called mole salamanders. So 2 will fit in here pretty easily, pretty tight, and that's what you want to. You want it to be tight and cramped, but not inside the containers with the animals. You don't want to cramp the animals. That's not what you want. And just put a lid on top. And basically you're good to go. So I just showed you guys how to prep and package a newt for a shipment. And you can actually use the same methods for terrestrial salamanders, like the 4 to the left, semi-aquatic salamanders, for dart frogs, amplexus. This can be applied to tree frogs, Pac-Man frogs, various small frogs like leopard frogs, bullfrogs, that's a pixie. And for lizards, I will show you guys how to prep and package a lizard because they may need different requirements since they are lizards and not amphibians. Well, maybe you're not shipping out an amphibian. Maybe you're shipping out a small lizard like this 5-line skink, or maybe some anoles or fence swifts. Maybe even small snakes like a garter snake, a hognose, or a ringneck snake. I would essentially do the same thing that I just did for the newt. I'd select a container, maybe the same way. You know, paper towel, slightly hydrated, slightly. Reptiles wouldn't need as much moisture as an amphibian, obviously. They have stronger skin, and the skin is sealed. Most lizards are actually hydrophobic as far as skin and scales go. I would not use the sphagnum moss because there's high water content in that. I would go with either the dried damp leaves spray and live sheet moss spray. So you know what, lizards are really fast, so I'm gonna have to try my best to get this guy. There we go, got him. So put them in there like this or however, and I'll go with the live sheet moss. Contain it and secure it, and you can tape this shut if you want for extra security. Miranda, let me get a box, please. Okay. Same deal, same box. Paper mache for cushion. I won't need an ice pack this time. This time I won't need an ice pack. But let's say it's cold outside. I would use a heat pack. Easy installation. You wrap it up in newspaper, fold it up, and then tape it down to the top of the styrofoam. Just like that. Box it up. and you're good. And you can actually fit 2 or 3 of those small containers in this box just like that. I want to take a second to discuss etiquette. Now, there are some things that you should do and some things that you shouldn't do. I don't think it's rude to ask anyone for pictures of an animal that you are interested in or that you are buying. I also believe it's rude to not provide a tracking number. And I also believe it's rude to not update the shipper once you received an animal. He may want to know if it's in good condition or bad condition. Everybody wants to have a smooth transaction. So here's my end result. You should have something like this or close to this or exactly like this. I taped across the edges, across the center. There's holes in this box which lets the animal breathe. There's labels which lets people know that there's something live and harmless inside. As far as weather conditions, I will ship if it's 40 degrees and higher for newts and salamanders. 40 degrees and higher. If it's around 60 and 65, I will do 2-day shipping with ice packs or in ice pack. And if it's higher than 65, I will only do shipping overnight with an ice pack or 2. And that's just me, but I think those are actually safe parameters for newts and salamanders. I'd also like to add that I won't ship if it's higher than 75 degrees Fahrenheit and if it's extremely hot. I'd rather wait it out for the safety of the animal in transition. So, safe travels for the newts and salamanders, and check out the next part. I will cover packaging larger newts or salamanders and aquatic ones. So that's very important for a lot of people that ship out axolotls or that want to. So check that out. Thanks.